Welcome back, students. We'll study new chapter today, that is data handling. Here we'll study what is data handling, what is the need to organize data, frequency distribution table, terms related to it, and types of frequency tables, graphical representation using frequency tables, pie charts and how to read and draw them, and in the last, chances and probability. In this video, we'll study what is data handling, data organizing, frequency distribution. So let's get started. You have learnt in last class how to draw bar graphs and represent information like marks obtained by a particular student in all subjects. In this way, we write scale on right hand side top. We write x and y axis here, and we write what quantities are represented by x and y axis by their sides. These represent marks. So if a bar graph is coming till here, this must mean that this person has obtained 63 marks out of 80 in mathematics, and so on. We can get to know the values of marks obtained by this student by comparing the height with y-axis values. Okay. So what if I have 50 such students? Do I represent their information in 50 such graphs? No. We have 5 subjects. So we can represent all of their information in just 5 graphs. Let's see how. Now I have shown marks obtained by students in these brackets. If someone has obtained from between 0 to 10, I have counted that student in this column. So this means that 5 students have obtained marks between 0 to 10. In next column, I have counted 10 to 20. In this fashion, I have counted number of students obtaining that bracket of marks, and total students are 50. In this way, we can represent all the data about 50 students in just 5 tables. All we have to do is make such tables for 4 other subjects, that is science, Sanskrit, English and social studies. Right? So this is called frequency distribution table. Let's look further into it. Now let's see how to make that kind of table. Here is an example. A group of students was asked for their favorite subject. The results were as listed below in green color. And now we mark. How do we mark? We've encountered art once, so we cut it out from the list and put a line here. And after that is maths, 1 line here, science, 1 line here, English, 1 here. Then maths again, so we add another line to maths. Then art, English. In this way, we add lines. We are cutting the subjects out of list so that we don't lose the track of the list. Now science, again science, maths, art. Now art has 4 lines already. So to add this 5th line, what we do is we cross out all the 4 lines. And this one crossed, this complete crossed bundle of lines means 5 number has crossed here. Okay. Now art is gone. Next is English, art again, science again, maths, science, art. Now we'll count. This bundle means 5. and then 2 means 7. 5 plus 2 is 7, so number of students is 7. Maths has 5. Science has 5 plus 1, 6. And English has 4. So, this means that number of students who like the subject art is 7. Number of students who like the subject maths is 5, and so on. Okay. So these here are called frequencies. Matlab, how frequently do students like this subject? So out of 22 students, 7 students like art. So all these numbers here are called frequencies, and this complete table is called frequency distribution table. This means how the frequencies are distributed among these categories, or in this case subjects. Okay. This chart here is known as tally chart. Frequency. What is frequency? It is the number of times that particular entry occurs in a given data lot. Now let's see this example as to how to make a frequency distribution table. See, we have an example that following marks out of 50 obtained in mathematics by 60 students of class 8. Okay. So now to make this frequency distribution table, what we'll need is marks obtained, right? Then tally marks, and then last will be number of students, right? So what you do is you try to draw the same frequency distribution table that we drew in last example, and we'll tally. So we'll make a table like this, groups, where we'll write groups as 0 to 10 marks, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, and so on. Let's start plotting. Now before we get into distributing into these groups, we'll first see what are the terminologies linked to frequency distribution table. First thing that you might have noticed is this. Sorry, this is too big. These are called classes. We have grouped the marks in these classes, 0 to 10, 10 to 20. These are called classes. So classes are basically groups into which given data is divided. For example, 0 to 10, 10 to 20. Now, this is called lower limit of the class. This green one is called lower limit of the class. And this is called upper limit of the class. And this later part of the class is called upper limit. Blue colored is called upper limit. So in these classes, in this first class, 0 is lower limit and 10 is upper limit. In second, 10 is lower limit and 20 is upper limit, and so on. You can spot all the lower limits and all the upper limits here. You might have also noticed that all of these classes are of 10 marks each. 0 to 10 has 10 marks, 10 to 20 has 10 marks. So this is called class interval. This class interval, this subtraction, this difference, upper limit minus lower limit. In this case, we have 10 minus 0 equal to 10. Right, so class interval here is 10. 20 minus 10 is also 10. In each class you will find that class interval is 10. Next is class mark or midpoint. Now it's not class marks, it's class mark. Okay, so this is upper limit, mean of upper limit and lower limit. Now here we have 0 and 10. Let's see. So 0 plus 10 divided by 2 equal to 10 divided by 2 equal to 5. So 5 is class mark for this first group here. This first class interval here. Okay. For second 10 to 20, let's see. 10 plus 20 divided by 2 equal to 30 divided by 2 equal to 15. So this 15 is class mark or midpoint for this interval here. Okay, and so on. And now we group our data. But we've not learned what are types of grouping. So let's see. Grouping types are exclusive grouping and inclusive grouping. You must have gotten some idea by just listening to the names exclusive and inclusive. Let's see. Now exclusive means this is 0 to 10, 10 to 20, right? Here this upper limit is repeated as lower limit of next class. So if somebody has marks as 10 only, where will you include it? In this first interval or second? Right? You will include it in this second interval. This one. And 10, this marks are excluded from this first interval. जहाँ पे 10 is as a lower limit, वहाँ पे वो include होगा. जहाँ पे 10 is written as an upper limit, वहाँ पे 10 include नहीं होगा. That's why such grouping is called exclusive grouping. Whenever you see upper limit of one class repeated as lower limit of next class, it is called exclusive grouping. So next is inclusive. 0 to 9, 10 to 19, 20 to 29. Here there is no question of where will you put some mark, some point or some sample. 0 to 9, 10 to 19. It's explicitly written here that if any number is lying between 0 to 9, including 0 and 9 should be put in this first class. Any number lying between 10 to 19, any sample lying between 10 to 19 and including 10 and 19 should be put in this next class, right? So there is no question of where should I put this particular sample. So such intervals are called inclusive intervals or inclusive grouping of data. In such data you will find no repeated limits. Limits will be all distinct. Upper and lower limits of all the classes will be distinct and different. This is called inclusive grouping. So the type of grouping we are doing in this question is exclusive grouping. That's right. Let's start grouping now. Let's look at our data now. 21 will come under 20 to 30 interval. So let's mark it there. 20 to 30, one line. Next is 10. 10 will come under not 0 to 10. 10 to 20. Let's mark it there. And mark all of these data according to the group that they belong to. You should probably pause the video here and write down all the values, or you can just look these up from your example number. Wait a minute. In your NCERT book, grouping data has one example. This is the same example. You can take all these values from, you can mark all these values from your NCERT book itself. I have marked all the values here. Did you get them right? So frequency related to 0 to 10 marks is 2, 10 to 20 is 10, 20 to 30 is 5 plus 5, 10 plus, 5 plus 5, 10 plus 5, 15 plus 5, 20 plus 1, 21. So this is 21. And in this way you can add all the values. Now your frequency distribution table using tally marks is ready. And you have understood all the terms related to frequency distribution table. Now how to show this in a bar graph? The bar graph that represents grouped data is called histogram. So this is x-axis, this is y-axis. Can you guess what will be on x-axis? Yes, 0, 10, 20, there will be intervals on x-axis. 30, 40, 50 and 60. Right? And 60 tak hai, right? And on y-axis, what will you plot? Frequencies, these values. You know how to choose these values. There are 10 divisions between 0 and this first unit here in your graph paper. So you should choose a scale such that you can represent all of these numbers by using this scale and easily. Now here I have taken scale 0 to 5, 1 centimeter equal to 0 to 5. So this one small mark, smallest of the mark, will represent 0.5 marks, and two small marks together will represent 1 mark. So now I have to plot this number here, 1, which is 50 to 60. Then what I can do is I can plot it right over here, 50 to 60. This green colored bar represents number of students who got marks out of 50. Now this only one student is in the range 50 to 60 and total marks are out of 50. So this student must have got 50 out of 50 marks. So this is 7. Now here 5, 2 small marks 6, 2 more small marks 7. So here I will plot number of students equal to 7. There will be no gap between these two bars, and so on. You can easily plot the other numbers. Try that. This is how you plot histogram. If the group is starting, now here group is starting from 0 to 10, 10 to 20 and easy intervals. If your group is starting from like 30 to 40 directly, what you do is you show a kink. You remember kink? If there is discontinuity in class intervals, you use this kink. After 0, you are using direct 30. But after 30, your class intervals are going to be 30 to 40, 40 to 50, like this, uniform. Okay, so try some histograms from your NCERT book. Exercise number 1, and try to solve NCERT exemplar as well. In next video, we'll start with pie chart. See you.